This recipe is one that you're definitely going to want to add to your weeknight repertoire. It is super simple. There's only a handful of ingredients, and best of all, it uses some of the most gorgeous tomatoes to make a really rich tomato sauce in brown butter, served up with fettuccine, a shaving of pecorino cheese over the top. This is my brown butter tomato sauce that is going to be one you want to make again and again. So it starts off by getting our pasta into a nice big pot of water. You want to make sure that you heavily season it. It does look like a lot of salt, but it really is going to add great flavor into your pasta. Straight into our pot. We're gonna give that a quick stir and let that come back up to temperature and boil away. This is gonna take about 8 minutes, just until we have a bit of bite in there. It's al dente. And while it cooks off, my favorite thing about pasta recipes is that you can make the sauce in the same time it takes to cook the pasta. So I did mention that this sauce's deliciousness comes from browned butter. And if you have never used a recipe that has brown butter in it, it gives you this sort of nutty, caramelized, gorgeous quality to any sauce that you add it to. So to this pan, we're gonna get straight in there with some butter. And you're gonna cook that out just until it starts turning. Normally you'll see it coming to a nice foaming bubble. You wanna take it further, and once you've taken it further, you're gonna get all that nutty flavor, which is gonna infuse into our gorgeous tomatoes. Now for our tomatoes, you can see I have some cherry tomatoes here. There's some really interesting shapes here and colors, and that really does make a difference to the end product. So I'm gonna keep a lot of these whole, but I am gonna slice 1 or 2 of them in half just to get the sauce started. And the true beauty of this sauce is that as the tomatoes cook down in the pan, they're essentially gonna release their juices and create the most gorgeous, sweet and luscious pasta sauce. Right, our butter is at that nutty brown stage, and right at this point you're gonna get straight in there with the tomatoes and you're gonna bring this sauce to life. It's that nuttiness, it's the sweetness, it's the tomatoes all reducing down in that gorgeous flavor. So get them straight in there as well as those whole ones. We're also gonna get in there with a wooden spoon and give this all a good stir. And at this point now, you're gonna let those tomatoes cook out in the butter. We're gonna season it up with a bit of salt and pepper. And what you're looking for here is those tomatoes to reduce down and to have really no bite to them. You want to make sure that they're nice and tender to wrap around the beautiful pasta. Right, this is what I'm talking about. You've got really beautiful tomatoes. You can see the ones that I've halved have actually kind of created a sauce and broken down quicker than the whole ones, and I quite like that because you've got different textures going on in here. Just before it finishes cooking out, I've got some garlic going in, a little bit of minced garlic, and just to kind of bring out some of the aromatics, a little bit of fresh thyme just in and around the pan. Give it all a good stir, and this is pretty much good to go at this point. Once that garlic cooks out, which literally takes a few seconds, you have the most rich and nutty and sweet tomato sauce that looks absolutely gorgeous, and the smell of the garlic wafting into the kitchen right now is phenomenal. So, a little touch of salt and pepper. So we got our pasta cooked off, our tomato sauce looking pretty epic right now, and it's literally only taken a few minutes. We're gonna start transferring that pasta straight in. So I'm actually gonna reduce the heat right down here. And you'll notice as I transfer the pasta to the pan, you're getting a little bit of that starchy pasta water, which is gonna help give us this luscious sauce that is wrapped around this fettuccine. And then this is where you get your hips involved and you give it a little bit of a shake. This is the kind of dinner I definitely want during my weeknight. So, it's looking pretty good right now. You don't want to overcook it, so turn off the heat completely on both of these. We're gonna serve it straight up with some pecorino. So, you're gonna get all that luscious pasta with all the steam going on in here and pile it straight into the center of that pan. Grab a little spoon and any of those beautiful little whole tomatoes, you want to pop them in there. Remember, that pasta is coated in nutty brown butter. We are in a good place, my friends. So make sure you go heavy on those tomatoes over the top. This is my kind of supper. It literally takes a few minutes. It's minimal effort, maximum flavor. And last little touch, you could go in there with some basil leaves if you wanted. I'm gonna add some pecorino over the top, just little shavings. Pecorino is that sharp, salty sheep's milk cheese, and it's so good to finish a pasta like this. A few little sprigs of basil just over the top. And I mean, come on, that is a plate of pasta to be proud of. We're gonna dig straight in. This is like one of my dream dinners here. That, my friends, is a serious plate of pasta, and one that is gonna get you to weeknight success in only a matter of minutes. It's absolutely gorgeous, full of nutty flavor, sweet tomatoes, and if you want the full recipe details, I will leave it in the link below, which will bring you over to my website where you get the ingredients, the method, all the 9 yards. And while you're there, hit subscribe to my newsletter and you'll get recipes like this in your inbox on the weekly. While you're here, guys, hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell, leave me a comment below letting me know if you're going to try this beautiful weeknight pasta. And until then, I'm going off to a corner of this kitchen and I'm going to eat this by myself. So goodbye.